Let's talk Tanya for the 14th of Kislev. Today we begin the 6th chapter of Kuntres Achron. Thank God we finished the Kabbalah. From here till the end of Tanya is going to be the few days we have left. It's going to be smooth sailing. The subject matter will be much simpler. In this chapter, the Alter Rebbe is going to talk about the nature of Torah. And the Alter Rebbe begins with a story which is, the Talmud tells us, actually it's a story which we find in the Nach, we find in the book of Shmuel, where it says that David HaMelech, he conquers the city of Yerushalayim, he settles there, he makes it his capital, and after he settled there, after a certain amount of time, he says, you know what, it's time to bring the Aron, the Ark, with the tablets, with the Luchas, it's time to bring it to Yerushalayim. So he makes a whole joyous celebration and a whole ceremony, and they're transporting the Ark to the city of Yerushalayim. And on the way, and they were transporting it on a wagon, and on the way, something slipped, and the Aron, it looked like it was about, the Ark looked like it was about to slip off the wagon. And there were two brothers, they were Kehanim, their names were Achioy and Uzzah. And they went to catch the Aron, to catch the Ark, and on the spot they passed away. And that really put a damper on the celebrations, and everything was called off, and the Ark wasn't actually brought to Yerushalayim at that time. It waited another few months. And why Achioy and Uzzah were punished is one question. But the Gemara, the Talmud, asks another question. Why did David deserve to have his parade rained upon? Here David HaMelech was making this big ceremony. It was a time of joy. Why did he deserve that this whole celebration should be destroyed, so to say, by the death of these two Kohanim? And the Talmud tells us the reason why is because there's a pasuk in Tehillim where David HaMelech says, Zemires hayuli chukecha beveis migore, which means David HaMelech is praising, he's extolling the greatness of Torah and saying, the Torah, they are like songs. I love them like I love songs. And Hashem took exception to this. And Hashem says, David HaMelech, you're calling my Torah songs? My Torah is serious stuff. As a punishment, I swear that what's going to happen is you are going to forget a simple halacha, a simple law, which even little children know, which is that the Aron is never supposed to be carried on a wagon. The Aron, the Ark, is always supposed to be carried on the shoulders. You're going to forget that, and that's also going to cause the David HaMelech celebration will be ruined. That's what the Talmud tells us. And obviously, there are a lot of questions, unresolved questions over here. Starting with, we really don't know what's wrong with calling Torah songs. That sounds very sweet. That's number one. Why was David punished in this particular way? We know in the Torah, everything is precise, everything is exact. The punishment always exactly matches the crime. And it was a very unique type of punishment that David forgets. Why is forgetfulness the punishment for this? And not only that he forgot, but what he forgot about, something that has to do with carrying the Ark as opposed to transporting on a wagon. What is the connection? What's going on over here? So the Alter Rebbe will explain it. But first, in today's Tanya, we're going to try to understand, why did David refer to Torah as a song? A song is soothing, is comforting. A song also is connected to praise. David HaMelech viewed somehow Torah to be the praise of God. In which way is the Torah the praise of God? In which way is it comparable to a song? So Alter Rebbe explains, there's a pasuk, there's a verse that says, Marabu masacha Hashem mi'oid amku machshavesecha. How great are your deeds or your actions, your creations, O God, and your thoughts are so deep. What is the connection between these two things? So the Alter Rebbe says, we have all of creation. Where does all of creation come from? Everything in creation comes from the Torah, from the mitzvahs, which is why you do a mitzvah, you open up the spigot, you open up the faucet, and energy comes flowing into creation. We don't do a mitzvah, or we do a mitzvah wrong, the energy is shut off. The entire creation is completely 100% dependent upon Torah and mitzvahs for its existence, which tells us how much greater Torah is than this world. So Marabu Masach Hashem, I look around, I see all of creation, I'm like, wow, how wondrous, how great all of creation is. And from that I realize, how deep, God, are your thoughts, the Torah. How great is Torah, because however great creation is, Torah is that much greater than creation, because Torah is the source of creation. Now, David HaMelech had a very difficult life. He's busy running away from his father-in-law who wants to kill him. He's wandering the deserts, the Judean desert. And David HaMelech, what would he do when he wanted to relax, when he wanted to comfort himself? He would sit down and learn some Torah. And then he would think to himself, All the world, everything that I'm worried about and everything that preoccupies my mind is nothing, because all of that is dependent upon the flow which comes from the Torah that I'm learning right now. And that is why David HaMelech called the Torah a song, singing the praise of God, and that's what he did to be happy and to become in a world which was a tumultuous world for him. And the obvious question is, and what's wrong with that? What's wrong with calling Torah a song? What's wrong with realizing the greatness of Torah as the source of all of creation? The answer to that will come in tomorrow's Let's Talk Tanya.